Workers, AFSCME, OPSI, every labor organization has come together, and when they're out, we have their backs.
Absolutely.
Now that we're out, they have our backs.
Can I have one of them pins?
$5.
What are the Delta pants?
No, the Delta.
I'm right here. I think I left them off at the UAW local.
Aw.
Let's see if there's
I
something
can get
that
another one.
You got one?
In your bag?
Oh, he's gonna give me his.
Oh, Patty, you're special.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you, Miss.
I get another
Thank
one.
you.
That's our fighting pin.
Oh, I love it. That's special. Thank you.
I get another one. I know somebody that has one.
You got connections, right? Take one with me, Marcy. Take one with me, girl.
Okay, I got you, Patty.
I gotta have one with
Oh,
you.
you bet.
Thank you.
You know, I'm proud to be out here with you guys.
Love you, man.
It's great to be out with UAW. Great to be out with your amazing leader that you
Thank
guys.
you.
Members leader right here.
Yes.
But not just for UAW. I mean, this is catching on all over the country. You know, Toledo has been a union town for a long
A
time.
long
right?
time.
You know how it works. But you're helping the rest of the country understand it because everybody wants unions and they want to know how to get it. Now you've got picket lines all over the country. People can join those picket
Yes.
lines, learn directly what the fight is about, be in the fight, feel that they're a part of
Yes.
it. UAW built up the working class in this country, gave us a living wage, gave us a secure retirement, health care, set the standards by being creative in strike tactics with the sit-down strike.
Never stand up strike.
Now it's about the stand-up strike. That's right. That's right. So I just want to thank you all because for too long, the corporate elite has been telling us we should feel lucky to have a job. But this is about us saying you should feel lucky to have our work.
Awesome. Yes. You are right. So right.
No fame, no game, baby. Hey, and I got to tell you guys all something. This president right here, Shawn Fain, standing out here shoulder to shoulder with the workers. He is a grounded man. He is down to earth.
Hell
and
yeah.
he is with
Yes, he
the
is.
membership.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm glad we voted you
Oh, that's
in.
mine. Use it.
Everything we're doing is about you guys. It's about the membership. It's not about me. It's not about the IEB. It's about the membership. Everything we're doing. We made that commitment the day I decided to run. It's always been about that throughout our whole career. I know Dave's the same way. Everyone in leadership feels that way. But this is all of our fight together, and that's the thing. You know, there's always been this. The International has been this group that we can't touch or see. We're working class people. I'm a factory worker. That's what I am. That's where I come from. I'm proud of where I come from, and I'm proud to be a factory worker, and I'm damn proud to be your family.
Yes.
Thank you.
You know, we said the last few weeks we've talked about, you know, when we visited Willow Run, you know, talking about our history, and we can't forget our history as a union. You know, the UAW, you know, Walter Reuther had the concept of the arsenal of democracy, of using excess capacity of our factories. That's what enabled us to win World War II. And I actually had someone in the media the other day ask me about, do I think it's an insult for me to bring up that what our veterans have done, you know, and talking about our history and talking about the new arsenal of democracy being our membership and being the workers out there on the picket lines, because we are in a war. We've been in a war it's a 40-year war.
Yeah.
Right.
It's class warfare, and the wealthy, the billionaire class, the corporate class have been taken and taken, and we keep going backwards. We keep going further and further behind. It's got to end. And so there's been a few people say that, you know, they think it's an insult to our veterans. It's not. As I tell them, my grandfather fought in World War II. My grandfather went overseas. He was in England and Paris, and let me assure you, they didn't go fight those wars to watch their grandkids and future generations work for poverty damn wages and struggle to get by. They fought them wars just like every veteran that served this country since that time and continues to serve. This is just as much about them as it is us.
That's right.
Because they don't fight these battles, they don't stand up for this country to watch a country go down the drain and watch workers have to scrape to get by, working paycheck to paycheck. And that's where the hell we are, and it's got to stop. That's our job as members. That's what our fight's about. Our fight's about justice in the damn plants and justice for the working class. Economic and social justice. We're not asking to be millionaires. We're asking for our fair share so that we can live a decent life. That's all it is. That's all this boils down to. And these freaking CEOs that want to sit here in the press and piss and moan and cry about how we're trying to hold them hostage. We're not holding nobody hostage. They made this decision. They chose to screw around for 7 weeks. And let me assure you all one thing. They want to say we've been not bargaining. My ass has been at the bargaining table every day. I've been there every damn day.
Yes.
Our committees have been there every day. Your vice presidents have been there every day. I haven't seen Mary Barr at probably 3 meetings since the middle of July. I haven't seen Jim Farley at probably 4 meetings. So for them to sit there and complain and talk about this, they screwed around for 7 weeks. We told them from day one we expected to bargain right up front and get it done, that the deadline meant something, and we were true to our word. Right. They chose to wait till the last minute, and that's why we're out here doing what we're doing now. They chose to be in this position. And until we get your fair share, we're going to be out here, and we're going to get it.
President Fain.
I know you're all fed up. I know you're pissed off, just as we all are. And we're all in this together, and we're going to get there together. We are going to move mountains, and we're going to make this happen.
That's right.
And we're going to bring the best damn contract we've seen in our lifetime.
President Fain, I'm Christy Garrell with WTOL 11. What is the hardest part about this negotiation so far?
Getting the company to actually recognize, to value their workers. I mean, you know, it's a sad reality when they sit there and you talk about their workers, they consider their workers family. I don't know what kind of family you come from, but I know my family, we love each other, and we sure as hell don't try to hurt each other. And they can talk all day about being family. Being family, you know, the proof's in your actions, not in your words. And their actions show different. The hardest part of this is we got a lot of things we got to fix. We went backwards for years. You know, these corporations, they want to put the fear out there now that if we get what we're asking for, it's going to kill the companies and kill the business. No, it's not. Every time workers ask for their fair share, it's the end of the world. But when these CEOs raise their pay 40%, these people that are already millionaires want to raise their pay 40%, nobody asks a question. Nobody says, what's wrong with this? It just happens. They raised the price of vehicles 35% over the last 4 years. Nobody said why. It sure as hell wasn't our pay. We went backwards. Right. Inflation went up 19%, 20%. Our wages went up 6%.
I wanted to ask you that. What do you say to the critics that say the demands are too high?
I say, wake up. It's not. They could double our wages tomorrow, and not raise the price of vehicles, and they would still make billions of dollars in profit. That's the biggest lie that's being told.
Now, we know the strike has been going on for 16 days. Toledoans have been here, the strikers, since day one. What do you want to tell Toledoans?
Just stay in the fight. I mean, that's why we picked Toledo, because we know they've been here, just like the Jeep they make. Just like the Jeep they make. It's one of the most rugged vehicles that's ever been made. It was there during World War II, and it's been there ever since. And these workers are just like that Jeep. They'll stand here, and they will be here till the end. You're not going to beat them.
Last question for me. Yesterday was the first day that the strikers received their strike pay. It wasn't their normal pay. What would you say to them?
As far as what now?
The strike pay, the $500 strike pay.
Look, nobody wants to be out here. Nobody wants to be in this condition. We've got to do what we got to do. And you know what? I'm proud that the membership fought like hell to get the strike pay up to $500, because there were people playing political games with that when we tried to raise it before. But you know what? It's important. And $500 isn't what we make weekly. But you know, we got to sustain the strike. We're doing everything we can to try to sustain the strike and help them. But at the end of the day, this pain is temporary. You know, we can either endure temporary pain and have long-term success, or we can give up and keep on losing. Nobody wants to keep going on the path we're on. We've had enough.
Sir, you could have visited any place in the country today, but you chose to visit Toledo. Tell us why.
Because they're leading this fight, and trust me,
No Jeeps! No justice!
No Jeeps!
And obviously you're visiting a Stellantis plant, but yesterday you announced more members will be going on strike at Ford and GM plants.
Yep.
So why is the tide changing at Stellantis?
You'd have to ask the companies that question. I mean, I can't answer for them. I mean, but at the end of the day it's because of what we're doing out here, and it's because of the membership. You know, they have to decide at some point what they want to do, and if they don't come to pump for these members and for our workers, then we're going to keep amping the pressure up. And trust me, we're going to get there one way or the other. We don't, as I said, this isn't something we want, but it's something we have to do, and they forced us to do. This is on the companies.
And it's no secret.
Did the UAW get inspiration from AFA's 1993 chaos strike?
You bet. I mean, yeah. I mean, it goes back. Again, we look back to our history. Our roots as the sit-down strikers. But AFA led the way. In the '90s. Let's just be real about the UAW. We've been complacent. Our leadership's been complacent for as long as I've been a UAW member, and it's had to change. And President Nelson and AFA, they've led the way in showing new techniques and stuff. And so, hell yeah, their chaos strike that they enacted in the '90s was sure as hell a good path. And we feed off each other. That's what labor should do. We support each other. That's why President Nelson's here today. That's why we're here today. We support them. That's why I wear their badge. I wore this on a few interviews. We're there for each other.
So obviously you want everything in the contracts that you're asking for, but as we go into day 16, is there anything specifically that's non-negotiable?
When you say we want everything on our contracts?
Well, I just mean that, obviously you want everything that you're asking for, but is there anything that's non-negotiable?
It's a negotiation, so, everything's on the table. But at the end of the day, we have our set of members' demands. The members, when I speak, as I tell people, these aren't my demands, these are the members' demands. This is the membership's issues. And the thing is, understand this, we want everything we're asking for. There's a reason we want it. We went backwards in the last 15 years. Our members made all this sacrifice. These workers gave up everything in 2008. We were blamed unfairly for everything that was wrong with these companies back in 2008. It wasn't because of our wages or our contracts or our pensions that put them in this position. It's because of an economic recession. It was because of what the banks did, and it was because decisions the companies made. But we were unfairly blamed for everything. We made all the sacrifice, and they're on our backs, on the backs of these temporary workers that have been abused forever, and our tiered members that have to work 8 years to get the full pay and everything else. These companies have made billions, $250 billion in the last decade. It's time they pay up. So we expect to deliver on a lot of our demands. Where that's going to end up, I don't know. We'll see.
You know this, your members know this, you're very vocal throughout negotiations. So where do you get your style inspiration from? Why are you very vocal throughout the negotiation?
Well, I don't forget where I come from. Number one, I carry my grandpa's check stub every day I go to work. This is from 1940 to remind us where we come from. And I don't forget the shop floor, what life was like on the shop floor every day. I know the grind our workers go through every day. It's tough, it's hard work. So, and my frustrations I shared as a worker on the floor, as a local union rep, as an international staff person. I had a lot of frustrations with how things worked. So it's really me just leading the things that I didn't like, trying to do that better and let our members understand what's going on. I hated during national bargaining to never know what the hell was going on. I hated to see the president walk in and cut a deal behind closed doors, and we don't even know what the hell they agreed to. So, we're being a lot more open. We're trying to be as transparent as we can, keep the membership as informed as we can, so that they know why they're out here on this picket line and what they're fighting for.
This has been a big deal.
Some critics have said that you are maybe, talking to the media too much and not on the negotiation table.
I say vacation. It's a good question. I'm glad you asked that, because that's the narrative the companies want to put out. When the companies don't get their way, this is what they turn to. We are there every day. I'm available today. You know what? I was in my office at 9 o'clock this morning waiting. You know what? They didn't want to meet. This is the false narrative they keep putting out, that we're not willing to meet. We have been there every day. I can leave right now and go back and bargain if they wanted to. My phone ain't ringing. So let me assure you, we are here for the members. We're pushing to get an time to get down here and visit some of our members on the picket and let them know why we're here.
Is there any one issue, President Fain, is there any one issue that the Big Three is not budging on? Is there any specific issue coming from them that they won't budge on, the TPTs or coal, anything like this?
Yeah, there's issues they don't want to budge on. They don't care about retirement security for our people, and that's what's I'll watch my mouth. That's what's wrong with this. The fact that they don't care about retirement security for their employees. That's the problem with what's going on right now. When I hired in back in my day, I wanted to get 30 years because I knew there'd be a pension at the end of this for me. That was my incentive, to want to come to work every day and want to build a great product and have great quality. The workers are hired in since you come in as a temp. Do you really give a damn about the quality of that product? There's nothing in this for you unless, and there's no guarantee you're going to get full time. For an in-progression person, it takes years to get the full pay for doing the same work as a person next to them, making double the money. There's nothing in this for you because you don't have anything at the end of this rainbow. So it's got to stop. There's got to be an end game in this for the workers. Their lives go through hell. We end up, what most of us look forward to after 20 years of this, not even 30, is knee surgeries, knee replacements, hip surgeries, shoulder surgeries, and no one cares about that. They don't know what this does to their bodies. And they're working 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. And that's a sad reality. Think about this. It's one thing for a worker to work 7 days because they choose to do it because they want a little extra money. It's another thing to do it because you're forced to do it, and because you have to do it because you're being paid such little money, you can't afford to survive without working 7 days a week.
It's been a big year for labor. So we saw those strikes in Hollywood. We see the strikes that are happening across the country at these plants. Some say it's been overdue for workers to go on strike. So in terms of what's happening right now, all the concessions that have been made over years, why did it take so long for negotiations to really happen like this?
I think you have to have, number one, leadership that's willing to do it. And I think this is our first, think about this. This isn't just, there's a lot of historic things happening right now, but this is the first time that the membership have been able to democratically elect their top leadership. When you democratically elect your leadership, it will hold you accountable to the membership, because if you don't take care of your membership, guess what's going to happen? They're going to take care of that.
Did you feel that progress is being? Do you feel that
Hang on,
progress?
let me go to you, and then let me go to you.
Did Ford send home negotiators today for the day?
Did Ford what?
Send home their negotiators for the day?
I don't know that. I wouldn't be able to answer that. I don't know. Yeah.
How long are you willing to fight?
Do you feel that progress is being made, and if so, how long are you willing to fight?
We're willing to fight as long as it takes. We're going to be out here longer than the company. We're making progress. I mean, there is progress being made, but it's nowhere near where we need to be, and we're going to keep pushing and keep doing what we got to do until we get there. And I'm not bringing an agreement to this membership, and those bargaining committees aren't going to bring an agreement to the membership, and those vice presidents won't bring an agreement to the membership until they know it's one that we all feel good about and that we feel is right for our members. And if it's not going to be there, we're not bringing it to them.
I remember talking to one of your members about the
Fain.
negotiations with Stellantis, and they had mentioned that it's a French company. Is there any differences that you noticed with Stellantis being a French company?
Well, I mean, number one, their CEO hasn't spent one day over here during the whole process of bargaining, so that's one difference. And obviously, it's I would say, comparing it to the other two companies, there's a little more commitment to this country. Look at the amount of assembly plants we have in Ford and GM compared to Stellantis. I mean, Stellantis keeps wanting to reduce their footprint here. They want to make all the profit here in the U.S., but they don't want to build their product here, and that's not going to work. That doesn't work for us, and we're going to fight it every step of the way.
Do you think that workers here at
Shawn wants to talk to the members.
Why
is he on TV too much?
Get out of here.
We're just doing our job. The company didn't want to move on at the beginning. After 146 days, they did. They got every single one of their demands.
Whatever it takes, as long as it takes.
Toledo machining plant in the house. Local 1435.
Thank you, brother.
I want to talk to our members.
Sweet. Is it
Thanks,
going to be
Shawn,
going every
for
game this way?
showing up, Thanks, guys. Thanks for all you do.
Good to see you, man.
Thank you, sir.
How you doing, brother? Thank you. Good to see you.
Can we get a picture with you, sir? Mr. Fain. Mr. Fain, thank you so much. We want pictures. I messaged you a few weeks ago. My name's Charles Grant. I messaged you about the TPTs that they were hiring in here. I messaged you about stop that. 5.5 years TPT. Yeah, take care of these guys.
Hopefully not so much longer.
Thank you. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming out, bro. Thank you again. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Don't forget about the MSCs, man. They've been here a long time.
Man, no, we're going to take care of it.
Summer's going on 6 years.
How's it going, brother?
Colin, I'm from Belvedere.